Hey, James. Hope you're having a good day. Had a good day at work today, and we're excited to have you. And we're really looking forward to getting you started and have you grow with us as we continue to grow. Apologize for the background. It's nice and messy. I'm in my basement right now, actually not at work or at the office. So, but just wanted to create a quick video for you to kind of just, excuse me, go over a few things, touch on a few things, and really, I guess, set some expectations of what we're looking for, but also kind of some guidance on how some of these calls are going to go. So first things first, with the cold calling side of things, and honestly with overall as a company, we do have a company culture that we look at that really allows us to know if we hired the right person, do we have the right people in the right positions, are they working on things that are beneficial to them, that they are good at, that's beneficial to the company, but also just making sure it's an overall good cultural fit. So I wanted to go over those real quick with you and kind of do these live. So apologize for the little bit of slowness here because I'm going to actually draw this out as we do it. But so we've got our call porter core values. All right, and these core values are really something that we live and die by. You know, if we notice an issue or something like that, we always refer back to this. When we're hiring people, we refer back to these 4 core values. And they basically are going to make up the acronym of EPIC. So we want all of our employees to be EPIC. Essentially what that stands for, so E stands for excellence in all we do. Right, so everything we always do, whether if it's phone calls, it's email communications, it is logging in and out at the correct times, clocking in and out at the correct times, we're doing everything with excellence. All right, we're always going to have off days. People are going to mess up, it happens, but as long as we're always striving for excellence, we're never going to have any issues there. The P is going to stand for personal responsibility. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time, apparently. Personal responsibility is a really big one, especially on the outbound side. You as a 1099 contractor, you're going to have a lot more flexibility in some of our other representatives. So that's things like, you know, checking in consistently with us if you have questions, making sure you're in constant communication with us as the week goes, even if it's just a quick hello. You know, that's what we utilize Slack for. We'll try and do the same as well, of course. You know, but also, if you have an issue, you noticed an issue, you cause an issue, whatever it might be, let someone know. You know, it's going to happen. People screw up, as I mentioned in the part before this, and it happens. But as long as we know about the issue, we find the correct action to it, and we correct that and don't run into it again in the future, we're not really going to ever have any problems there, because the longer you let someone or something fester and get bigger and bigger and bigger, the bigger the issue is. And then now we're trying to play catch up. We've dealt with it in the past, and we just always have to have a high level of personal responsibility, especially when we're working remotely. Individual development is the I. For me, this is a huge thing. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook or not. If not, you should. But it's one of the things that completely changed my life. 3 years ago, I was miserable. I was working in a dead-end W-2 job. I mean, I was managing over 70 employees in 3 different departments in our company, you know, making anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000 a year. I was making good money. Absolutely hated it with a burning passion. I was there just miserable, had anxiety issues, was stressed out all the time, was drinking way more than any person should probably. You know, and just really got sick of it. And it was at that point I actually started working with a personal coach. All the managers did at the company I was at. And ultimately, that's what got me out of that position. And that's really, you know, individual development is going to be something completely different to everyone else. And it could be, you know, growing in your personal relationships, your finances, your mental health, your physical health, could be really anything on there. For me, a really big thing was just reading self-help books. Like you can see there's a bookshelf behind me here. I've got all kinds of books in here, everything from stuff from Tony Robbins to Gary Vee to, I don't even know, there's a bunch of other stuff in here, but any topic I was really struggling with or trying to work on is something that I read more about. And so just always be striving towards developing yourself to always be continuously growing. Especially in this department with outbound, we've only got 3 reps right now. 1 is part-time, adding you in there as a 4th person, 2nd part-time person. we're looking for a leader to stand out above the rest, all right? It's not gonna be immediate. It might be 6 months, might be a year down the road, but we're gonna need someone to take over this department eventually and be able to manage, run it, and grow it without the day-to-day interaction of myself or our other manager, because we're getting busier and busier, and we're gonna need to promote people. And this is a big part that I look into is how much individual development are they working on? Are they just staying in the same place and not really doing anything, or are they striving to get better every day? So just something to look at. It helps me, helps all of our employees, it's helped everyone else. If you need suggestions on good books to start with or anything like that, just let me know. Be happy to help you there. And the last one is community. All right, community is a huge one for us because we really treat our employees like family, right? It's something that Ryan and I, as brothers, have strived to build and really make it a friendly place to come and work, even though you're working from home. You can see it in the Slack channel, that we did some training on that. There's just tons of communication there. We've got a joke of the day section of just goofy dad jokes that we put in there, or punny jokes or whatever. But it's just really, it's a great place for our employees to engage and have fun. And we actually have employees that love coming to work and love their job. They're not stressed out or having to, okay, it's Monday, I got to go back to work kind of thing. We've built a really good community around our employees, and we want to keep that. And if you excel in something that one of your teammates doesn't, help them out, and vice versa. We expect them to help you out as well. So just a few things we look at there with the core values and the 4 different parts of there that make up that acronym to be EPIC. All right, oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over a couple of requirements on every call. And you can feel free to write this down on a notepad or something, because I know this is kind of scattered as I'm just writing it here as we go, but this isn't really wanting to work. The requirements on every call. We want to attempt to get their asking price at least 2 times, all right? They say no the first time, not a problem. We can kind of come back to that in a minute. We don't have to focus on it at that exact moment. So if we're going through the information on the call and we're trying to get a price out of them, we ask for it and they say, nah, why don't you tell me what you can offer me? No, not a problem at all. We'll kind of go back and look at a few other things on the property, see if they have any other details on it. And then really at the last minute, another way that we can kind of ask them is say, keeping in mind that you're working with an investor, so we do buy these as is. Pay cash, can close a lot faster than a regular retail scenario. What's the bottom amount you would accept? And usually at that point, we're able to get some sort of asking price out of them. And that's what's going to allow us to know if we're going to book an appointment or not. Okay. We want to see if their asking price is flexible. All right, there's a great way to say this, and this is going to be in the appointments booked training that we already went over, but we had a perfect example of one of our inbound reps. The customer called in and said, I want $90,000 or $100,000 for this property. And as soon as the customer says that, our inbound rep said, and that's flexible, right? And they said, well, yeah, I think I could actually probably do it for about $75,000. Like that, we saved the customer $25,000 off the bat. We had that customer actually reach out to us saying how impressed they were by that conversation. So simply by saying, all right, something as simple as saying, and that's flexible, right, is going to allow us to assume that conversation and continue to move on. Just allows us to get more and more detailed information, and the more we can get that price down, the happier our customers are ultimately going to be. All right, we want to look for and get their motivation. So this isn't, again, in that appointments training, but, are they going through divorce, pre-foreclosure? Did they inherit the property, or they may be moving out of town unexpectedly for a military job or just another position that they have to leave town for? Those are the 3 things that we should always try and do on every call, is get their asking price at least 2 times, find out if it's flexible, try and get their motivation, and last but not least, the condition of the property. This is going to include things like last time they updated bathrooms and beds. As you know, those are the first two things that, bathrooms and kitchens. First two things that everyone looks at when they buy a house are the kitchens and bathrooms updated. That's where people are going to go. Any other updates? How old is the roof, furnace, AC, plumbing, etc. So all the different major systems, basically, that are in that property. All right. That's kind of what we want to look for on every call. Now, when we're having a conversation with people, two things to remember. All right, is one, smile when you answer the phone, right? I know you work on phones now. For me, this is something that with employees in general, I can tell if someone's smiling when they're on the phone because your voice naturally gets higher, gets more excited, gets more warm, it's more inviting. So whenever you answer that phone, simply smile. So that script pops up. Hey, Janet. Hey, my name's Justin. I'm sorry this is out of the blue. I was actually just calling about a home I believe you may own on 123 Main Street. Sounds way better than, hey, Janet. Yeah, my name's Justin. I was calling about a home I think you own on 123 Main Street. Sounds completely different, and it's absolutely terrible. So bring that smile into this conversation. Two, use your personality. All right, this is a very easy place for people to get stuck into a routine and forget to do this. And what I mean by using your personality use it for your advantage is when you're building rapport with somebody, find out about them and relate to them in ways that you can. Like if you're a sports guy, talk with them about sports in their area. If you are a car guy and you happen to, notice something on Zillow or Google Maps that they have a certain car, bring it up maybe. If you hear dogs or kids in the background, things like that, talk about those in those downtimes. All those different things are going to really allow you to build rapport and just be yourself when you do it. If you're trying to follow the script word for word, and that's why I don't require my reps to follow scripts word for word, is because you cannot be 100% yourself when you're following a script word for word. If you know the script, you know where this call needs to go, you can ask the right questions to get there. You can use your personality a lot better to really help that conversation flow. I know you're in the warranty industry now, so if it's anything like the warranty industry I came from, like I mentioned, there's very little room for you to use your personality. It's very scripted. It's follow it word for word. Ask the questions. Get it to a TO. Get the sale. You're not really building that rapport, getting the information. It's the complete opposite here. We want to make sure that you are using your personality, building rapport, because we are setting up these first impressions for these investors to go out and view these properties. And we have to make sure that we have a good first impression so they don't get there and say, hey, that guy I talked to on the phone is kind of rude. They weren't really inviting or something like that. So just a couple things to think of, and we want to make sure we do. After that, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to let us know. You've went through a few days of training now, including the Grant Cardone stuff, which is absolute gold. I love it. It's awesome. And, but if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Your direct manager is going to be Cassie, who you've probably been introduced to by now. I'm still here. I just don't work as frequently with the employee side of things as I'm working on other projects and stuff to help grow the business. So if you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, we're really excited to have you work with us. And I think what we'll do is once you're done with this call, or done with this video, let's schedule a call to hop on for a few minutes just to run through any clarifications or anything. Just let me know, shoot me a text when you're done, and we'll go ahead and get something set up. And we look forward to having you with us. Thanks.